Hello, welcome to One Big Pile of Movies. Woo-hoo. My name's Matt.
Hi, I'm Christian.
And we're going to watch some movies.
One of the reasons why we wanted to try to do this is there's a lot of movies that are just considered kind of bad, but so they're never even given a chance. So it's let's try this movie, give it a chance, see what was good, what was bad, what might have been, is it worth it type thing, and see if it gets the rap. Maybe there's something cool and redeemable about it. Maybe there's a line of dialogue or a way something was shot or something like that where we can just learn from it and because we're movie enthusiasts of sorts. But it's something that we want to kind of bring that as opposed to just reacting to movies and say, oh, this is terrible or not, but just kind of pull from some of our knowledge on that and just kind of share. And if you get something out of it, cool. If not, that's also fine.
And maybe we can learn something from these movies, whether it's something neat that they did or something horrible that they did that we don't want to do.
Or something that they tried and it didn't work very well, but maybe we could figure out a way to make it better.
One thing I've been seeing a lot of people are watching is Hawkeye.
Yes.
Yeah, so I figured
Disney Plus show and all that kind of good
stuff. Yeah. So I figured we'd check out Hawkeye.
Yes,
it's made back in 1988.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so I guess it's probably the first of the MCU.
Okay.
But this is directed by Leo Fong, and I thought, well, I may want to check it out. So here we are, and you're here to suffer with us. But no, we'll see if there is anything of value in this. We'll see what works, what didn't work, what could be improved. Maybe if this could be worthy of anybody else watching on purpose or not.
Oh gosh.
Jimmy the Weasel.
This is how it starts?
Vegas PD. You don't have nothing on me. Hey Jimmy, I'm just trying to do my job tonight. My name's Alexander Hakamoto. Friends call me Hawk. You're not my friend. They call me something else.
What just happened? What is it? Ah!
That is the best character intro ever.
What do you even do? I don't. Well, Leo Fong right now is one of the best directors I've ever seen. Oh, man.
First off, let me apologize.
It had lines in it, and you could hear them sometimes.
Sometimes.
And you could see it sometimes.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Oh, yes.
Probably
Oh, my goodness.
passed out at some point.
Yeah, some of the shots were dark people in dark rooms. Well, I remember there was this one shot, it was completely dark, and then you could see just this little circle of what is that?
What is that?
Oh, it's a nose.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. That was the only thing that was lit in the shot. We started off right before the credits, very strong, and then the movie happened, and it was all downhill.
The movie was the beginning part was so strong. You get, hey, buddy, I don't even know who you are. Yeah! And then he
whap! Hawkman! Or
kicks him in
and that's the thing. Okay, so his name is Hakamoto, or Hawkus. Yep. Yeah, Hakamoto. So they're like, Hawkman.
I have a note here. The name of the movie is from a one-night stand he had and called her while drunk.
Alexander Hakamoto. The guy you call Hawkeye, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to talk to you for a week. I'll see you when I see you.
So we've got Hakamoto.
Hakamoto.
He's a karate man.
Yes.
They said he can't make it. Something about a black belt test. He's out in a temple in the desert.
A black belt test? Hawk?
Yeah, we got Charlie Wilson who shows up, who's introduced by him saying, "I'm not like other cops."
But let me tell you something about myself. I'm a different kind of cop, different than you ever met before. I don't go out drinking with the boys and I don't get fat. I'm a cop. I think like a cop and I live like a cop. And for the past 7 years, I've been the most decorated cop here in Las Vegas.
The big thing that I noticed is they were big fans of tell, not show. It was, instead of showing you how good everyone was and things like that and giving people opportunities to shine, it was, wow, you are the greatest cop that I've ever seen. So he's at this dojo place. It looks like a Motel 6 like thing, and there's this dojo, and this guy is working. He's doing stuff, and there's this old random white dude who goes into his life story.
No, listen here. I've been in the military for 18 years, trained in Korea and Japan, real killer stuff. Now I come back and test for this belt, Las Vegas Grand Temple. These guys are animals.
But I know more about his life, really, than I know about Hawkeye's life.
Yeah. Hawkman. Hawkman.
Hawkeye. Should we have given spoiler alerts?
Nobody cares.
It wasn't until like 40 minutes into the movie when we had a nice little sit down in a restaurant where we finally know anything about the characters. It's hard to talk about this movie in order because there is no order. There's this bank that's being robbed.
Oh yeah, I totally jumped ahead.
Hawkeye comes up. Of course, he's dressed in civilian clothes throughout the whole movie.
Yes, the best detective
so
in all of Las Vegas.
Plainclothes detective because they couldn't afford wardrobe. He shows up to the scene.
I want a helicopter for me and my boys out of here and into Mexico.
She wants a helicopter.
We don't have a helicopter.
We don't have a helicopter.
Me, Hakamoto.
Darling,
It seems very
piss me
informal.
off because if you
Yeah,
do
like
anything
they're-
close to do, what the is that? It's to blow you away, asshole.
Don't piss me off.
Are they all old friends? Well, that was inconvenient.
Now, when you don't do a stupid thing like that, you got me mad.
There's no urgency.
Where the hell are you going?
And then right after this scene, his boss is like, hey, you got to go show these kids what it's like to be a cop. And then he goes, He's like, oh man, I hate kids.
Hey, shut up! I am Alexander Hakamoto from the Las Vegas Police Department. I have to show you kids how to be a cop and what the police station looks like. All right, so if you guys just shut up today, we'll have a good time. You got a cigarette?
And then, especially in juxtaposed to the bank robber he's like,
You know what I did? I took my gun out and I put it right in his head, and I blew a hole in the back of his head. And then I hit him in the groin so hard that his eyes turned blue. Then I punched him in the stomach so hard he tried to vomit, but he swallowed his own vomit because I held his neck so hard I put fingerprints in his cheeks. His name was Lionel. I hate that name. What's yours?
It's Lionel. His name's Lionel.
Let's go.
He's tougher on the kids than he was on the bank robbers.
He what? This is terrible.
If you wanted to scare the kid, you could have pulled a gun on him, you know.
Yeah, I know. Kids.
And then he gets paired with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Hakamoto, meet Detective Charles Wilson. We've assigned him to watch over you, to make sure you do things our way.
My name is Charles Wilson, and I'm here to tell you what it's like to do my job. So think of me like officer friendly. I'm officer friendly, and I'm very glad all you are like police cadets and you.
He's trying to be Eddie Murphy.
Where you going?
I don't want to be a cop.
If I come after you, know what's going to happen? I'm going to catch you, and I'm going to take off both your legs, bend your head backwards, put it in your backside, and then you're going to smother in your own doo-doo. So we're going to have a good time, aren't we, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go this way.
Meet your new partner.
Partner?
That's right, partner.
Partner.
Partner?
How you doing, partner?
But
I don't want no partner, I don't need no partner, and I ain't gonna never have no partner.
So they get paired up, and they're supposed to track down the killer of a guy named Sam.
It was a drug bust. It was a drug deal gone wrong, and there was a floating head that went and shot this guy named Sam who had very white tennis shoes. And the only reason I know they're very white is because it's the only thing you could see.
Yeah. I can see his shoes.
Yeah. And he gets told this when three random guys, one of them's obviously the chief, go in there and they just hate Texas so much. They're like, you're so stupid and you're from Texas, which is the worst state in the world. You stupid Texas person. You can't be going in like Wyatt Earp, being like you're in Texas with tumbleweeds going around you, blowing up everyone you see just because you're from Texas. You're in Las Vegas now.
By the way, just what the hell was that showdown at the bank about this morning anyway?
They're from New Mexico, Captain. I'm from Texas. We speak each other's language.
You can talk their language?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You see, Hakamoto, the mayor doesn't want Wyatt Earp in the city, especially a Chinese-looking Wyatt Earp.
You know, this ain't no Texas we're dealing with here. That was a long time ago.
After he gets paired up with Hawkeye, and then Hawkeye like drops a racial insult stereotype that's just like, and I wasn't even, not in a million years would I have ever been ready for this.
Come on, cuz, I'll buy you a beer. No, thank you, I don't drink. How about a burger? Y'all like burgers? No, I don't eat red meat. How about a watermelon? I know you guys like watermelon.
Oh! You know something, Hawk? You just pissed me off, all right? All right? Let me tell you something, all right?
You know, they have this little thing where they punch each other back and forth, and they're like, okay, I guess we're working together now. Yeah, they got slurs and stereotypes, and they got the crazy
African Americans, Italians, Asians, multiple times against Asians, Mexicans. He went to a gay bar and didn't realize they were gay, and then
somehow
finally realized, well, he's from Texas. They have Texas hospitality.
So, Jean-Claude, in Western on us this evening? Well, maybe a little side saddle later.
Oh, y'all ride horses.
Hakamoto handsome. Where you from?
Texas. Franklin, Texas.
What do you guys do back there in Texas anyway? We hit them all. I mean, maybe in Texas you can go to one place, but there's so many of these kind of places all around us, you know.
Hawk, you're not in Texas anymore.
I think he forgot part of the line as he was going through it. I may be in Texas. And then
We got a key and Sean's missing, now what?
So one of the things that I wrote, I asked why did they hate Texas? And then I mentioned that characters weren't consistent. They went from like 0 to 100 to like an extreme and then back to 0. So like, and they're over here wrestling on the ground in anger and like hating each other. And the next thing you know, they're in the car and they're like, man, how's it going? You're my best buddy ever. Don't you ever touch a black man's radio. And it's just, there's no consistency. So in one time you've got the guy being real, like I'm going to follow the rules and all this other kind of stuff. And then the next moment I'm breaking all the rules. And it wasn't just like small changes. It was like way far to the extreme.
Stay off my back, stay out my way, and stay out my face. Think of me like Officer Friendly. I'm a cop. I think like a cop and I live like a cop. And I'm gonna take off both your legs, bend your head backwards, put it in your backside.
They somehow find this this old guy to interrogate.
We got some questions, Jimmy.
I got nothing for you.
You gonna cooperate?
Cooperate with you.
Jimmy, be our friend.
Why?
Let me ask you a few questions, Jimmy.
You ain't got nothing coming.
What about this gold?
I sell furniture.
And this one?
I sell a lot of furniture.
Now, Jimmy, you gonna cooperate with us?
I ain't cooperating with you.
That's kind of funny.
Now, you talk to us, nigga. Give us a little information.
So they get this office lamp, shine it on him, tie him up, and they close the door, and you hear punching. Opens the door, and like he's completely beaten to a pulp.
Did he tell you anything?
Some guy named Tony?
So they have no rules,
Apparently not.
and it's funny.
Oh yeah, the man we want to see, his name is Tony Cesario. Officer Friendly.
There's a big moment during the middle, which is about most of the movie, where it's like it felt like nothing was really happening, so I didn't really write a whole lot.
You said a lot of things here that I didn't think were important, so I just omitted them.
Where?
So, Hawk, ever been to a coroner's office before?
Yeah, once. But give me the creeps.
Not a pretty sight, huh?
Jesus Christ, look at this one.
Good morning.
Doc Madison, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
This is my new partner, Alexander Hakamoto.
How do you do, sir?
Nice to meet you, Doc. So, what do we got?
Are we gonna address that?
I don't think we are.
Usual bloody mess.
I know this guy.
You noticed it?
Sammy Johnson, I grew up with him.
Yep.
Sam's widow had finally started talking with our main guys.
I'm from Scarsdale, New York.
That's a nice place. Is your family from there?
It's not frickin' Texas.
My father worked on Wall Street.
She revealed, Sam said that he was investing in computers and he got $500,000 in a week. He gave me the money and I hid it. He double-crossed Tony.
Yeah, the Italian.
That they were going
drug
after.
lord.
Then the next note I wrote down is like, they're holding on cuts way too long.
Yes. Cut. Cut.
Tony Cesario. You remember me, man? What do you guys want? Yo.
You think I might find Sammy in one of these bases over here? He might be in this one right there.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You crazy?
Maybe he's in this one over here.
Hey, that's a $10,000 vase. Are you a maniac? Hey, Hawk, what about the window?
The window!
Not the windows!
That's a $20,000 window.
And then you embarrass me in front of my friend. We come in here, you got the place all busted up, glass all over the floor and everything. Send these two knuckleheads out and buy yourself a copy of Good Housekeeping and use it. Read it. Let's go.
Cut.
Like, he got drunk somehow, goes home, drunk dials 3 people who were all one-night stands they hadn't talked to in weeks. And then none of them answer the phone, and then he's just pathetically laying there, and then he starts looking through a photo book, and then that says, hey, I need to go over and talk to Charlie, who is...
Sam was... They were trying to figure out who killed Sam.
Sam dude got shot in the face from the cocaine incident.
Who is it?
Wait, croquet incident?
Cocaine.
I'm so confused.
Remember, he was the floating head. Is Tony? I think Tony's the floating head.
Oh.
Tony's not the. I don't know.
You tell my friends in Cuba that if they have a
Wow.
Cesario, they come on time.
So many racial slurs.
So Cesario was buying from Sakura. Sammy must have zapped one of Sakura's people and then delivered the stuff to Cesario and saved the money for himself.
And Cesario was buying from Sakura. Sakura's the supplier.
Man, that's bad because those guys got like their own kind of code and they don't like to look bad.
How did it get resolved?
I wrote die, D-I-E-E-E-E. That was a pretty good, memorable line. They got the money, and they put the bad people behind bars, and he was a cop again.
Go ahead, cowboy. Draw.
I want your badges and your guns.
Yay! They said it.
Just think, the next time I shoot someone, I could be arrested.
They gambled the money.
I'm feeling mighty lucky tonight, partner. I'm not gonna bet it all.
Betting it all?
$300,000.
First, they do this comedic exchange.
Everything on the red.
No, wait a minute, Hawk. I think we're gonna go with the black because the black is where it's at.
Nope, the red is where it's at.
Listen, trust me on this one. The black is the lucky color for the night.
Hey,
Black.
man, you're black and you got shot. It's on the red.
Yeah, but that was yesterday, and I don't see no yellow colors up here.
Yeah,
It stays on the black.
Oh! It's because he's Texan.
Yeah, it's because he's Texan.
And they don't like being called yellow.
That's probably what it was.
Might as well get out of here. We ain't got no money.
We ain't got no jobs neither. Hey, you ever think about going to New York?
New York?
Oh, man.
I've never been to New York. That'd work. Besides, I'm glad we lost everything.
You glad?
I'm glad we lost it all. That was stolen money. I couldn't have lived with that money. I have my self-respect I have to deal with.
Yeah, self-respect.
My dignity, my honesty. That was bad money.
Bad money.
Drug money.
Stolen money.
Nasty money.
Stinking money.
The worst.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
You got it, buddy.
Oh, man. And the camera zooms in on the dude's butt.
That's an in frame right there. Just hold on the butt.
Hold on to your butts.
And there's like giant stacks of cash sticking out of the guy's butt.
Yeah.
Well, out of the back pockets, not the butt.
The clothing shot is on his butt.
The closing shot is on the closed
It's on
man's
his
butt.
closed butt.
What?
What did you think of this movie?
Why did I do this? Why does it hate us? What worked?
There's the introduction shot. That was funny.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
I think it was intended to be.
Okay, there was this one guy who shows up at the person's house out of nowhere with an assault rifle 15 or an M16 or something.
You just made my job a whole lot easier, boys. I'll take it for you. Come on, turn around. Let's go. Turn around, put it down, face the wall, spread them open. Let's go. Let's go.
He was like, yeah, and like hit him with the gun, and they're knocked out. And that was very, I think what worked in this is you had a very competent, that was the one competent bad guy. Hawkeye actually had some pretty interesting movements.
One of the guys had very big muscles, so his workout regimen worked.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another thing that worked.
You know, they kind of stepped away from some stereotypes.
Leaned into others.
And definitely leaned into others.
They had an Asian man. His
Yes.
identity was more tied to him being a Texan.
He was a Texas Ranger.
Yeah, Texas Ranger.
I think in some ways they were was trying to be self-aware. So he's an Asian guy who doesn't know karate, but he learned karate by being taught by a large white man at the local YMCA.
And he's also a Asian martial arts person who doesn't know what a dojo is.
What's the meaning of attacking my dojo?
What's a dojo? What are you getting?
Sushi, man.
Sushi? I don't eat this. It looks like raw fish.
Would you recommend this to anybody?
Nope. I would not watch this movie again.
Wouldn't recommend this movie. Wouldn't watch it again. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to watch it again while editing.
Oh no, you do have to, don't you?
How many pounds of movies is this? Oh, this is...
So what we
this
do,
is a lot
we do it a little differently. So instead of 10 being great, 1 being terrible, we give it piles of movies, and the larger the pile of movie that it is, the more piles it gets, and then the least amount, the better of a movie it was. So anyway, I would give this 16 piles of movies out of 18.
See, I would give this 1 big pile of movie.
That is 1 big pile of movies.
Out of 1.
Oh, that's
As much as you can get.
That is the full amount of that.
All right. Watch us again if you want to. If not, bye.
That is one big pile of